name is Jackie, aka Wishes Mama, and I am joined for this hub episode by all of the friends. Today you get Duck and Jess, and you also get Stevie for a very fun episode. We are going to be blind ranking Disney World rides. And you may be thinking, what in the world does that mean? Well, we will get there just momentarily, but this is something completely new we've never done on Mom Street before. I'm super excited. I'm glad we're all here together. So it's going to be a fun time. Duck and Jess, how are you guys doing today?
We are cruising.
Doing good.
Good. Stevie, how you feeling?
Excellent. Excellent now that I'm here.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So we're going to hop right in because we've got 4 parks to hit and we all get to take turns. So we've got a lot of rides coming your way. So I'm going to throw it over to Duck here so they can explain what in the world we're going to be doing today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jackie. So we are going to be going park by park, drawing attractions, or really rides, out of a hat. And we will be ranking them as a list as they're getting called out. But what makes this a little different than a normal just pick them out of the hat and say, oh, that's my favorite, that's my least favorite, what have you. They're going to basically be in a top 5 list where once you rank it, you cannot move it. So if you pull Test Track and you think Test Track is the number 3, that's where that stays, no matter what you pull next. So that's the fun part of it. Once you rank it, it stays right where it is.
I'm so ready. This is going to be fun and also potentially disastrous at the same time.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of big feelings.
Yes, I love it. I'm ready.
I'm already wearing my big feelings with a movie ride shirt on. So got to get that out of the way first.
So just 2 additional notes. What I included in this particular, as we're pulling it out of the hat, those pieces of paper, what's included are what I consider to be true rides, right? Dark rides, boat rides, coasters, some spinners, things like that. I did not include shows, character meet and greets, fireworks, any Streetmosphere things like a Dapper Dan or, the piano player outside of Casey's. So that may be a future episode. Hint, hint, wink, wink, perhaps. We'll see how this goes. But just because the sheer number would get out of control so quickly, we figured pure rides were the place to start.
Yes, that's a great choice.
The other thing is, you may have said that noticed that I said a list of 5. There is much more than 5 rides per Disney World park. But in the interest of making things a little more competitive in the ranking, you don't know what's coming out next, right? Something like Magic Kingdom, where there's a ton of rides, you have no idea what will be coming out in the rest of the ranking. So in the interest of this not being a 7-hour-long discussion, as well as keeping it interesting, there is a limit of 5 per park.
Yes, so we're going to be ranking 1 to 5, whatever the first 5 attractions that come out of the hat are. We got to place them blind and go from there and pray to the Disney parks gods that it all works out in our favor. Pray to Joe Rody.
Specifically to his earrings.
Yes, it's so true. It's so true. Okay. So I believe that we are kind of randomly deciding who goes first at which park. Correct me if I'm wrong. So who's going to start us off first?
I feel fine going first, and then
Okay.
Show us how it's done.
right, and then we can fight it out
Perfect.
for the rest of them. Sounds cool?
I love it.
All right. So
So which park are we starting in?
I'm starting off with Magic Kingdom because I feel like that is first off, that's the one that's going to be the most heated. So I was like,
Yep.
all right, let's have this up front.
Yep.
Let's get everybody's very serious discussions right out in the open.
Mhm.
And also, in case anyone's curious, because I have an extensive collection of hats, this is a Gritty hat from the Flyers.
Excellent choice.
Big hockey person. Love chaos, so Gritty is my favorite.
Do you have a different hat for every park that's like prepped and ready?
Absolutely.
And
I'll go through
love
them.
this. I love this. I love this. Okay, so
All right.
ride number 1 that Duck has to rank.
Ooh, Tomorrowland Speedway.
Oh, okay. So 1 through 5. Now we should clarify 1 being like our top choice, right?
Yes.
5 being our bottom choice for these, correct? Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
I'm going to put this at a solid number 5. I do not care for the Tomorrowland Speedway. I think that it is a nice reminder of days gone by, but I think it could do with either like a total overhaul or perhaps a removal. I understand why it's still there from like a park planning perspective, right? It eats up a lot of people. It's something good and friendly for the kids on that side of the park. Like I totally understand logistically why it exists. I simply do not care for it.
That is totally valid. Now, I should say that Duck is also, and Jess have created some little fun facts for some of these rides. So while you're going, Duck, I'll help and read some of these fun facts that you've created so you don't have to hop back and forth as you're trying to manipulate and handle all of the things. So our fun fact for Tomorrowland Speedway is that on opening day, it was called the Grand Prix Raceway and was sponsored by Goodyear. The more you know. Awesome. Okay, so 5 is taken, Duck. Let's get to the next one. Let's see what we've got.
Our Astro Orbiters. That is... I am going to tell you, I actually have never ridden Astro Orbiters. Which seems crazy, right? Like, that seems like something that I would really love. It's rocket ships. It's high in the air. Like, that seems like it totally would speak to me. But because I've never ridden it, I have to put it low. I'm going to have to put it 4. I hate to do like backwards ranking like this, but it's got to be 4.
That's totally valid. That's totally valid. Fun fact for Astro Orbiter, what a lot of people don't realize is that it is a rideable attraction, and it is a series of rocket-shaped cars that lift you above Tomorrowland and bring you around in a circle like a carousel. And there is a version of Astro Orbiter that exists in every Disney theme park.
And part of the reason why I put that little disclaimer that it is rideable is more than once I have been walking through Tomorrowland and seen somebody stop and go, "Can I go on that? Are those real people up there?" So I just want to throw it out there. No shame if you did not realize that the giant rocket ship is actually something that you can ride. Like, totally fair. It's always somebody's first time. So just disclaimer, it's actually a rideable attraction.
Yeah, that's totally valid. I have ridden it once in the almost, 20 some times that I've been to Disney. So
fair.
And you never know what's an animatronic at Disney. You never know. You never know.
So true. All right, let's move on to the next one.
All right. We have Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin.
You got to mix those up. You're like hanging out in Tomorrowland over here.
You gotta... Jess is gonna be in charge of pulling the next one. All right. For Buzz, I'm actually gonna put Buzz at 2. I enjoy Buzz. It's a nice break, and it's an easy ride, but it also makes me feel good about myself because I always score very high. So I'm like, look at me, I'm the Galactic
video games. Yeah, you do well.
Yeah, that's right. It's like a video game. I do love like any of those like shooting gallery type games. I really like. Over in Universal, I really like the Men in Black ride, so it's like the same kind of shooting concept. So I'm putting Buzz at a solid number 2.
Totally valid. Fun fact about Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, which is the official full name for that ride.
The government name, if you will.
Yes. It was briefly sponsored by Mattel from opening in 1998 until the end of 1999. So very brief sponsorship by Mattel for that.
One of the briefest in Disney history, if I'm not mistaken.
Fascinating.
Interesting.
Again, the more you know. Okay, let's pull the next one.
Now, Jess really shook it up. So
it's my fault for selling
Tomorrowland. We're not, but we're right next to it.
Okay.
So I did combine these two, the Dumbo/Aladdin's carpets. I put them together because they are functionally the same thing.
Okay, valid.
Aladdin and Jasmine would beg to differ because I rode that ride with them and they're like, you can't control it the same way. This is why we're better than Dumbo. I kid you not. That was a conversation I had with Aladdin and Jasmine.
But now Aladdin and Dumbo. Now hold on. Now this is the kind of controversy I wanted from this. We need some arguments.
Their argument was with the joystick that you can... you have a little more ability to control how you go up and down. And so they were showing us that if you go like up really fast and down really fast, you can kind of actually simulate what it might feel like if you were like zooming around on a magic carpet ride. It was wild. I rode the ride when I was a college programmer with a friend of mine, and we just were hanging out and we saw that there wasn't a line like right at Park Open when the ride was first going, and Aladdin and Jasmine, before they did their character meet and greet, were just like, let's go over and ride this. And they're like, you two, we're gonna ride with you two. And we're like, what? You what?
Honored.
And we were like giggly the entire time because we're like, oh, that's Aladdin and Jasmine.
They picked us.
They picked me. I love that. Love it. That's valid.
That's a good one. All right. So I can't, in good conscience, put them at number 1. I don't know. Up next, it's got to go to 3.
Oh no.
I'm so afraid for what number 1 is going to be.
So if you're playing along, that now means that Duck has filled 2, 3, 4, and 5, and whatever is pulled next
is number 1.
will be the number 1 moment of truth.
I'm so nervous.
Drum roll.
Peter Pan's flight. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay. I like it. Yes.
Peter
Well,
Pan's flight, number 1.
while you note that, let's explain some fun facts about Peter Pan. This is Duck's mom's favorite ride.
It is.
It is. She always talks about it.
My mother, every time we bring up Disney, she's like, did you get to ride Peter Pan? It's so fun. She loves it so much. My mother,
That's so cute.
I love her. She is just like a very endearing woman, and she loves Peter Pan. So I think that counts as a very fun fact.
Yes, I love that. And the other note that we have here is that the queue, if you do stand by for this ride, is amazing. So many fun Easter eggs. A certain fairy may or may not, pop around a little bit. It's a good time.
Keep an eye out.
Yes.
Especially
Perfect.
'cause-
Love it. Okay, so Duck, do you want to give us a recap of your 1 through 5 for Magic Kingdom?
Absolutely. So sitting at number 5, Tomorrowland Speedway. Them cars need an update. I don't know what else to say about it. It is the tomorrow of yesterday. You know what I mean? So, number 4 is Astro Orbiter. I feel like I can't fairly rank this anywhere else because I have not experienced it. Most people don't know that it seemingly is a real ride, so I think I'm not alone in the people who haven't ridden it category. At number 3, I have Dumbo / Aladdin's carpets, which I have been informed I should not have combined them.
Shame. Jasmine would be so disappointed.
I do not need to be ratted out to the Prince and Princess over in Agrabah, okay? Number 2, I have Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. It's very video gamey, which fits me very well. I love a little shooting gallery game. And sitting at number 1, I have Peter Pan's Flight.
Awesome. Love it.
Cool.
Okay. Who gets to be lucky person number 2 to go next?
All right, I am going to pick Jackie.
Okay. Oh, pressure's on.
And just so you know, I did put them all back. So you may also have
You may
to, like,
also end up with
Peter Pan and
Okay. Perfect. I think that's only
Tomorrowland
fair.
Speedway. Hopefully, I'm the only one who had to suffer at Tomorrowland Speedway. Sorry to all the Tomorrowland Speedway stands out there. I don't mean to come
My
for your
cousins would
ride.
be really mad at you.
That's true. They
My little
love
cousins went feral for it. They like cried thinking they wouldn't be able to ride it.
that.
My
that
kids
is-
also love that just because like
5 minutes.
my kids think that that's super fun. I don't know why, but they do.
It's like the driving the car, like
They don't even drive. They don't want to drive. They just want to ride in the car.
Not your kids being like, I want to be passenger princess in Disney.
They don't even want to drive. They just want to go on because I've asked multiple like, "Hey, do you want to drive?" They're like, "No."
No thanks.
I'm like, "You're not going to hurt, my kids get a lot of anxiety over that, which like
Valid.
I get." And I'm like, "You're not going to hurt it. You're not going to like it's meant for kids to drive." And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Okay."
even print them out a fake driver's license so they are
Right?
authorized to drive the car.
Yeah, no, they want none of that. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
all right.
What is my first attraction?
We're gonna have Jess pick because otherwise we'd be stuck in Tomorrowland again.
I don't know, we could still be. All right, Jackie's first attraction, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, how could I get so lucky? That has to be my number 1. Like
Okay.
it has to be. That is one of my all-time favorite attractions. I love Pooh Bear. I've loved Pooh Bear for as long as I can remember. It is one that I go on every time I'm in Magic Kingdom, multiple times. Love that ride.
It is very fun.
That is a solid choice. To continue with our little fun facts, I think a lot of people know this, but in case you don't, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh in Magic Kingdom is where Mr. Toad's Wild Ride used to be. And there's a little mural on the wall of Mr. Toad handing over the deed to Owl.
Yes, it's right as you leave the first room on the left-hand side. You got to kind of
Yes.
turn over your shoulder.
Blustery room.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, I'm ready, Jess.
All right.
What's my next one?
I'm already mad that you're getting better attractions. This is not fair.
That's what you get for going first. You didn't
That's
mix
right.
it enough for yourself.
That'll teach me not to.
Number 2 is Tron.
Ooh. I'm gonna put it at 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it at 3. I like Tron. I love the experience. I have really good memories taking my oldest on Tron. It's just not my favorite. When it comes to Magic Kingdom attractions, I much prefer the dark rides that are at Magic Kingdom
Sure.
over like a Tron. Yeah. So
Stevie,
I
do you
get
have
that.
a hot take on Tron?
I've never been on Tron.
Oh, valid. That's your hot take. No, thank you.
Okay.
Tron fun fact, or are we moving on?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, I got so distracted in my in my hot takes for Tron. So Tron is sponsored by Enterprise, which is that car rental company. In case anybody doesn't know, but it's pretty unique because very few rides in Disney World still maintain sponsors. The other notable one is, of course, Test Track. So. It is a little surprising that they, in this day and age, are still going strong with sponsorships on certain coasters. So
Yeah.
that is my Tron fun fact.
Love it. Very nice. All right, Jess, I'm ready. So I've got 1 and 3 are filled.
Yeah. Next one is Space Mountain.
I think I got this is rigged against me. Something went wrong.
You picked them all.
You had complete control over this.
Congratulations, you played
You
yourself.
played yourself, yeah.
I'm going to put space at
Ooh.
4.
Ooh.
Hot take. Okay, let's hear it. Why?
I'm going 4. I went probably 6 trips without riding that ride.
Wow.
Okay.
That's so
It's
fair.
just not my, like, I enjoy it. And now that my kids are old enough and like want to ride it, I will definitely ride it with them. But like, it was not one that I was like, when my kids were little, that I was like, no, I have to go on that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not. I've been on it enough. I'm just kind of done with it. And yeah, I agree with Lem in our chat. It needs a redo.
In and is like tear it down and rebuild.
Yeah.
It
could
not
do
disagree.
with a really nice refurb because there are so many other versions of that attraction in the other Disney parks that are way better.
Yes.
So
Completely agree.
So that's why I'll put it at 4. Okay, so I've got 1, 3, and 4.
Yes.
What's my next ride? I'm
really
nervous.
quick though, for Space Mountain,
Oh,
I do
yes.
have to share this because this is one of my favorite fun facts.
Okay.
Space Mountain is in the movie Meet the Robinsons. There's a little Easter egg when they're flying about in the future. There's a quick shot of Space Mountain. So I had to absolutely get that fun fact in there.
I love that movie. It's so underrated.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my God, that's another top 5 that we should do. Movies.
Yes.
Oh,
well, I'm here for that.
Then we'll battle it.
That's going to be so hard.
That's going on the calendar. All right.
Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. I'm ready, Jess. I'm ready.
Your next ride is Astro Orbiters.
Oh,
Thank
5.
Tomorrowland.
Oh, 5.
Easy. Done.
That was so quick.
I don't need to ask for any justification.
No further questions. I have ridden it once. I'm not afraid of heights. I like almost every ride. That ride was legitimately terrifying.
Valid.
I'm done. We're done here. And the ride is so, like, who thought of the load situation there? The elevator? Like, no, absolutely not. Do not put me in an elevator with a bunch of strangers going up to that.
That's also
ride.
another hard one to get in and out of.
Yes.
And Jackie, your number 2 attraction, I highly disagree with this, is the People Mover. Should be number 1.
Okay, I don't hate that though. I don't hate that. So to recap, my 5, number 5, Astro Orbiter. Number 4, Space Mountain. Number 3 was Tron. Number 2 was the People Mover. And number 1 was Winnie the Pooh. And I feel like if those 5 had been presented to me at the beginning, they would have ended up in that exact same order. So I'm very
I
pleased.
love that.
Yeah,
for you.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair.
Now I'm waiting for the other parks to be atrociously wrong because that went so well for me.
That's why I went with MK first, because
Love
there's
it.
so much to pick from. It's either going to be really controversial or really straightforward. And then as we get into the parks with fewer rides that fit this criteria, it's going to get ugly. I'm so
Love it.
excited.
I'm so excited. All right, who gets to go next?
All right, Stevie, you want to go?
Yes, please.
All right.
Duck, do you want to pick for Stevie, or
Yeah.
maybe not want Duck to pick
So-
for anything?
I'll pick one, and if it's Tomorrowland, just pick over. All right. If I can unfold it. Peter Pan.
I'm gonna go with 2
Okay,
for Peter Pan.
I like it.
I love it a lot. I wish it was a touch longer.
Fair.
I always get a little sad that some of those scenes get compressed. But I love flying over the London scene.
Very magical. Okay, do you want me to keep picking, or would you like just to step in here?
You can alternate. How about that?
Oh, so good.
Okay, all right.
You don't want the one you just threw on the floor?
No, because I feel like that
The vibes
doesn't
are
count.
off.
I had to throw it back in. Dumbo and Aladdin.
Oh no.
I swear to God, there's more things in this hat. I promise.
Literally every MK ride is in here.
I swear.
Pick which one you want to rank, and we'll put just that one on your list, Stevie.
We'll put Aladdin at 4.
Okay.
Okay, something new. Jungle Cruise.
Ooh.
I'm so I think that based on the way we're ranking, I think I have to put Jungle Cruise at 1 because it just feels, as a former movie ride cast member, it just feels like a sibling attraction, just like one of the last spieling attractions that exists. I have a fun fact. I don't know if this is your fun fact that's in there, but the plane that's on Jungle Cruise is the other half of the plane that was in the Casablanca sequence on the Great Movie Ride. Rest in peace.
Fun fact for you, that was the fun fact.
Woo!
Crushed it.
I get emotional every time I see it, and I tune out of because like I try to laugh with the skipper just so they like because like it's hard, and you're more likely to get like the off script jokes if you engage with the skipper, and it's like give me your B material because I love it. But I always tune out whenever we go past the plane, and I say I get a little emotional, and I have to pay my respects, and then I tune back in. So
You picked Jungle Cruise.
I'm so sorry.
It's my turn.
I didn't you want to know. Just physically swatted my hand. No, it's my turn.
Oh my word. Okay, what is Stevie's next ride?
It's a small world. I'm so mad that Duck didn't get this one.
Small World has got to be number 3 then. Yeah,
Okay.
All right.
yeah. I have a lot of affection for that ride.
What got picked for the dreaded number 5?
Oh
A
boy.
Small World fun fact? Oh, do I have a Small World fun fact? I'm sure I do.
You have to have one.
Yeah. I think my fun fact was that it's my least favorite ride.
Yes,
For-
you said there's no fun facts. This is not a fun ride. That was what you wrote.
I'm being
I
so real. I thought I took
disagree.
that out.
Okay, there is an actual fun fact on there, though, that says Kodak sponsored the Walt Disney World version of the ride in the 80s, with Mattel taking over in the 90s, and then they discontinued that sponsorship in 1999.
Yes. There is no fun facts. And this is perfect for you for number 5, Stevie. It's Tron.
Oh, excellent. Because I
Perfect.
was thinking about Tron, I was like, easy 5. Absolutely.
No questions.
Yeah, that totally valid. I feel like you can guess if you really wanted to, like what you think of what, like if you were to ride it, but like if it's a ride you haven't ridden, like it kind of needs to go lower on your list because you never know.
I'm not a big thrill ride person, and so had I gotten like Space Mountain, it would have been 5. Here we are.
So
Yep.
fair.
Yes. Okay. Can we get a recap, Stevie, of your 5 to 1?
To recap, 5 to 1, I'm sorry. Number 5, Tron. Number 4, Aladdin. Sorry, Aladdin and Jasmine. I had a fun time.
It's not for you were great.
It's not personal.
Number 3, It's a Small World After All. Number 2, Peter Pan. And number 1, Jungle Cruise.
I think that's no notes. No,
Solid.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm proud
All
of
right.
this list. I stand by it.
That's a good
I
one.
love it. All right. That means Jess is up
All right,
and at the mercy of Duck's draw.
I'll pick it for myself. Excuse you.
If looks could kill, I would be dead. Oops. Do not come to my town.
Dang it. All right. My first one is Dumbo / Aladdin.
Okay. That thing is cursed. I swear to God.
And everyone's freaked away.
Aladdin and Jasmine said bet. Jeannie can curse you.
I'm the only one that didn't get that on my list.
You are. I don't know if I want to put them as 5 or 4.
Something worse could come along, or
know.
it could all be great.
I know. You know what? I'm going to put them as number 4
All right.
because I don't really care for them. They're just there and they're fine.
They exist.
They
Okay.
exist.
I mean, that's valid.
Yeah. The people mover. Ooh, okay, do I want people mover to be 1 or 2?
I don't know. When I got it, you said 1.
Well, because compared to everything else on your list, I would have put
Okay,
people
okay.
mover as number 1. But I think people mover is going to be 2
All right.
because I love it. But there are attractions that I like more, and hopefully one of those attractions will show up.
You just want to keep drawing 7 of them.
Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
Okay, number 1, easy peasy.
Love
I got
that.
Favorite attraction.
thinking it fell out and I missed
Nope,
it.
it was here.
Okay,
Don't worry.
good.
And
I love that
All right,
for you.
Haunted Mansion. Easy.
Favorite attraction of all time. All the spooks. Just everything about it is perfect.
And a fun fact for that is that the exterior, the Walt Disney World specifically, is based on the Harry Packer Mansion, which is in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, which is, if you get the chance to go, a super cute town. There's a lot of stuff to do there. There's a little train ride that you can take through the countryside, and then you can see the mansion. It's really a lot of fun. It's like a good day trip or weekend trip if you're in the area.
What do we got next, Jess?
Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. That's going to have to go number 3 for
All right.
I love The Little Mermaid. I feel like it's like, there's never a line on it. I feel like people like hate it, but The Little Mermaid is my favorite Disney movie, like hands down. So I just love it. It's like a fun little trip through the movie, and it's got some weird animatronics in it, and it's just that don't work half the time. Ariel's eyes are all like wonky and whatever, but it's fine.
It's gotten better lately.
It has gotten
It's gotten
better.
some love. It's gotten some love recently.
Definitely done some work on it.
Sebastian's laser eyes are back at the last scene now. They glow so bright. But I love that ride, so feels. Yes. Okay, so that means Jess has filled 4, 3, 2, and 1. So whatever we draw,
Gonna be number 4.
let's see what number 5
I'm
is.
going to lose my mind. Please be small world. Please be small world.
I hate you. It's all right. Divorced. Oh, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Oh. I do love Winnie the Pooh. It's not number 5 in my heart, but for this ranking, it has to be number 5.
That's fair.
Sorry,
That's
Boo.
fair.
All
All
right.
right.
Recap
Jess.
time.
Yep. Let's do a recap of Jess's.
All right. So number 5 was forced to be Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Tragic.
Number 4, Dumbo / Aladdin. Number 3, Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. Number 2, People Mover. Number 1, Haunted Mansion.
Not terrible. Could be better. Could be worse. Overall, we did okay with Magic Kingdom.
I think so.
It may have taken us an hour and a half to get through it. But
I remember thinking to myself, what a good, fun,
This will be so
easy,
quick.
and quick podcast this will be.
wrong.
It is never quick and easy.
I love it. Okay, what park are we headed to next, Duck?
All right, we are going to take the monorail over to Epcot.
Love it.
In my Eagles hat, go birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Love it. Yeah, we did miss a couple. Becca in our chat is talking about Nobody Got Seven Doors,
Yes.
Big Thunder Mountain. There was a couple more that I saw that we didn't get.
There's a-
Pirates.
Yeah, there's a
We
whole
didn't
bunch
pull
of-
Pirates.
Iris, we didn't get
We didn't pull Tiana's, Barnstormer, Mad Tea Party. We missed quite a few on there, but there's so many.
There are.
I mean, there were what 19 on our list for that one. So
Yeah.
That's the thing is MK, there's just so much that fit the criteria. And when I was making the criteria, I really was thinking about Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And so there's just so much that's packed into
I'm so sorry. I just hiccup.
How dare you? The audacity. I was in the middle of a speech.
but we got Aladdin.
You got me monologuing. But we got Aladdin 47 times. So don't worry, everybody. Becca's right. We got it. You know,
We all think about Aladdin.
don't worry.
Yep.
Our very important thoughts on the Aladdin / Dumbo, which should have been separated, has been known.
So really, we should have had 20 on the list and
Yes.
even round 20, but you know, we digress. Okay, moving on to Epcot. Let's put the monorail back on the tracks here. Let's cruise on over.
the Coral Line.
Yes.
Come on, everybody.
Who gets to go first, Duck, for Epcot?
Okay. So I went first, and then you went, Jackie. Right? So do
Yes.
you want to go? We'll just like go in a circle.
Perfect.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
Ooh, guys, I'm nervous about this park because I like a lot of these attractions. It's gonna be so hard. Okay, I'm ready.
Spaceship Earth coming out strong.
Oh no. Uh, 4.
Ooh. Controversial.
Listen, okay, I love Spaceship Earth, but as I'm
That's you from this chat.
here's my
I'm
thing.
gonna need you to thank the Phoenicians, beg for their forgiveness.
I enjoy that ride, okay, but I can think of at least 5 or 6 ones that I like more than that, so I feel like 4 is a solid, safe choice for that one.
I value our friendship, so I will have no further commentary.
I love you guys.
I love you just a little less after this conversation.
Oh, no.
All right, you still have 4 slots to redeem yourself, though. So
I'm so scared.
Oh, but really quick, Spaceship Earth. I keep forgetting that we have fun facts because I feel so strongly about these rankings. Spaceship Earth. There have been 4 narrators since Spaceship Earth opened. We had Vic Perrin, Walter Cronkite, Jeremy Irons, and of course the current one, Dame Judi Dench.
I didn't know Jeremy Irons was a narrator.
Yeah, he was one of the longer ones too, and he was right before they refurbed it with Judi Dench.
Okay, I'm ready. What is my next one?
All right. Journey into Imagination.
Oh gosh. Oh, I'm gonna make some people upset.
Oh no.
I'm gonna put it at 5.
Yep.
Yes.
My children would be so upset with me because they love that ride. And I like Figment, but again, there are just other rides at that park that I know I like better than that. So, okay, so I now have 5 and 4 filled.
Mission Space.
Oh no, that was the one that I was worried about. Ugh, 3.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, right? That has to
Yeah.
As it can go right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I do have a fun fact for Mission Space, mostly because I will never ride this ride so long as I live. You are experiencing 2.5 times the pull of gravity on that thing. I'm good.
you.
That's motion
Yep.
sickness. Heck, I'm good.
Nope. Yeah, I've ridden it maybe twice, if that. And I was like, I think I've seen it. I'm good.
The sheer fact that they provide you with barf bags on the ride, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I have regrets. Okay, so now I've got 3, 4, and 5 filled.
Let's see.
Living with the Land.
Oh, okay.
Well, it can't get worse than Mission Space being at 3,
Right.
so no matter what, it's only gonna go up from here.
I'm gonna go 2.
Okay, a good choice.
I'm gonna go 2. I don't know that I would necessarily put it at 2 if I had everything laid out in front of me, but in my current predicament, 2.
But that is the fun, quote unquote, of this game.
It's something. I don't know if fun is the word I would
The
use.
feeling I'm getting from
I am-
the game.
I am creating enemies in our chat. I'm so sorry.
You got so lucky. Guardians of the Galaxy,
Oh.
Cosmic Rewind, default number 1.
All right, I'll take that.
Solid.
That'll work. I'll take that. Yeah, I was nervous, and Mission Space just wrecked my life. That just
As it does.
All the way.
as it
I
does.
didn't have a number 1 to go.
Now you just wait. You spoke that into existence, Jess. That was a terrible idea. Terrible idea. Okay, so let me recap my not so great 5 here. Number 5, I have Journey into Imagination with Figment. Number 4, Spaceship Earth. Number 3, Mission Space. Number 2, Living with the Land. And number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
I did totally skip the fun facts, Becca. For Guardians, I actually really like this one fun fact for Guardians that I had gotten. So, the Celestial that's stealing the time core. First off, he has a name. It's Eson, Eson. Love that he's a named character. But the guy who voices him, his name is Fred Tassicori, who voices other Walt Disney World animatronics or attractions. So he is the sound effects for Disco Yeti.
Oh.
So that's fun. The little roaring sound effects for Disco Yeti is him. And also in the updated Country Bear Jamboree, he voices Buff and Rufus.
Oh. Those are the heads on the wall.
Yes.
2 of the heads on the wall.
Mhm.
All right. So who's next? Stevie?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Who do you want to draw first, me or Jess?
You pick. Dealer's choice.
Did you draw or
I draw, so you can draw.
Okay.
Dealer's choice is dangerous with me involved.
Ooh, mission stakes.
5.
Dang it! Done. I quit. Easy.
I have ridden it. I've ridden the orange track. I had a friend that was a cast member at Mission Space, and she was like, you have to go on it, and you have to go on it with me because I want to go on it with you for your first time. And I was like, and my last time. And I barely held on to my stomach. She was sitting next to me the whole time, and she's like, you're going to look at this thing in the distance because they designed it to help you throw up less. And I'm just like, okay. It was not a good time. I'm never going to do it again.
The fact that the words, it's designed to make you throw up less. Uttered. No, I'm cool.
There are so many things that they do to try to help nausea. It's so cold in there for the same reason. Like they blow cold air on your face when you're like sitting in the seats. There's so much in there.
But tear it down. That ride's gotta go.
Well, astronauts that have been in space have said that that is like the next closest thing that they can get to that actual experience, and that's terrifying to me. So that's how I feel about missions.
There's a reason I'm not an astronaut. I don't want to know what it's like to be in space.
There are several reasons why I am not an astronaut, but you know.
Yes.
We can have space education without the barf bag needs. We can. No, thank you.
So true. Okay, so 5 is taken. What's
Yes.
next?
Grand Fiesta Tour.
Number 1.
Heroes, show 3 caballeros. Say we are birds of a
I love that ride. I love that ride so much. Donald
Such a
is
good
is like my favorite Fab Five character, and he's so fuzzy at the end. I just love staring at his animatronic. It brings me so much joy. I love that ride. I just love a boat ride. I love a boat ride. I love the water. I love that it rarely has a wait and I can just get off it and then get back on again. It's excellent.
Can I give a fun fact about the 3 caballeros?
Absolutely.
That our lovely Mom Street audience already knows because Kate and I had an entire hysterical laughing fit about it at one point in time. For several weeks, they were refurbing the animatronics at the end of 3 Caballeros about 2 years ago. And for a while, they decided that instead of just leaving the space empty where Donald had been while they were refurbing him, they just put a cactus with a sombrero in his place. And thus, Plant Donald was born. Never forget Plant Donald.
And I'm going to tell you, there's a non-zero chance that a fair amount of riders had no idea it was not supposed to be Cactus Donald.
Yep, and Kate and I may or may not have made a shirt and a sticker for Plant Donald that says never forget and has a cactus with a sombrero on it. So link in bio if you'd like to purchase one.
Hashtag link in bio.
It was one of those moments where I saw it on like Chip and Co or WDWNT, and it was like, I'm sorry, they did what? Why? What? It will never not be funny to think about Plant Donald. So for that reason, I also love 3 Caballeros. So Stevie, where did you put that one?
Number
2?
1.
Number 1. Okay.
Donald should be number 1. It's what he deserves. So
Yes. Okay. So that means 5 and 1 are taken on your list.
yes.
Okay. I love that you wrote Plant Donald in parentheses on our notes, Duck.
It's a non-zero reason. That is.
Yeah. Okay.
Is the seas with Nemo and friends.
Ooh. Okay.
I do.
I love that ride, and I love that that ride like puts you out in the seas building. And so like that's part of it, because like I don't like Finding Nemo is not like a top 5 Pixar movie for me. Like it's fine. I don't dislike it. Oh, but I don't know if I'll get like
the big
blue okay.
world,
I'm gonna put it at
go
3.
explore
I'm gonna put it at 3. That feels
3?
safe.
That's fair.
in the big blue world that I've never seen before.
This.
Sorry, I'll stop.
No, you're good. Go off, Queen. As the kids.
So many creatures swimming out to sea. In the big blue world, all of them are waiting for
Yeah,
me.
if I had my phone flashlight, I would.
I love that musical so much, and I love that song. So
I
sorry.
love that for you. No, go off, Queen, as the kid said. I don't have a terribly great fun fact for that ride, but I do have the fun fact of it is an excellent place to take a quick nap.
I have a fun fact for that ride.
Yeah, go.
actually. So the song that I just sang for you is from the Finding Nemo musical at Animal Kingdom, and it was written by the same people who wrote the music for Frozen.
Hooray! That is a fun fact.
Yeah.
All right, Stevie. Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind.
Okay, I'm gonna upset some people. I have 2 and 4 open. I've never been on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I love the movies, but I'm gonna have to put it at 4 because I'm pretty sure that if I ride it once, I'm never gonna ride it again. And I mostly think that I will end up liking it for the pre-show and not the ride itself, and that does knock it down a point. As much as I enjoy watching the pre-show on streams and videos. So
That's
It's
fair.
such a good ride. So
sorry, y'all.
To follow our earlier logic, if you hadn't ridden it, it's gotta go lower, right? I mean, it's not
Yeah.
fair for you to highly
I mean,
rank-
but it would still be above Mission Space, even if I hadn't already gotten Mission Space,
Valid.
for the record.
I think going for a swim in the middle of Epcot is above Mission Space.
Yeah.
If anything is above Mission Space.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm just now starting a list of rides that I'm gonna get Stevie to ride with me when we go to the parks together next
Love it.
time. Tron, not Mission Space. God no. Rewind.
What if you just blindfold Stevie and be like, we're going on Guardians,
no.
just show up at Mission
No.
Space?
Our friendship would be over, and I would cry.
Valid.
That would be fair.
Yes. Okay, so that leaves you with 2 open.
Yes,
Default
just
number
number 2.
Default number 2 is Journey into Imagination.
That
For those of you
facial
who are
reaction.
listening-
If you
For
are
those of
listening,
and cannot see my face, I just made a face. Like
Yep.
if you can personify that noise into a facial expression.
and now you will also hear the wrath from our good friend Moogie in the chat, who loves Figment.
It's not that I dislike it. I just like don't have a ton of like super positive memories of it. It doesn't give me any nostalgia. I prefer a dark ride, but it just gets, I don't know, it just doesn't, you'd think that it would appeal to me because it's just like a puppet and a comedian. Like I'm on board for that, like at its premise. But I just can't get into it. I don't know.
That's
fair enough.
Fair enough.
That's fair. Okay, so let's get a recap, Stevie. 5-1. What is your Epcot list?
My 5th place is Mission Space, and I'm proud of that. Number 4 is Cosmic Rewind. Number 3 is The Seas with Nemo and Friends, and I would love to swap it with number 2, which is Figment. And then number 1, love of my Fab Five heart, Grand Fiesta Tour. I love that little duck.
That little duck. All right.
Right.
Jess is up.
My turn.
I didn't even attempt to go grab the paper that I turned.
Duck has learned their lesson.
Yeah. My hands are in my pockets.
Yep.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Okay. Journey into Imagination.
Okay.
Oh God, I think
Will Jess feel the wrath of Moogie?
I'm gonna go number 4. It's not one that we ride every single time. It's fun. It's cute. I enjoy Figment, but it's not.
Moogie's already in the
Sorry.
chat yelling.
I'm sorry, but there's definitely rides that I enjoy more in Epcot than Journey into Imagination. I'm very sorry. Mic drop.
Very true. All right. Next.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind. I have to put that at number 1. Oh, it's just so fun. It makes me so happy. There are rides that for like nostalgia purposes might be like maybe more, I don't know, but like it's just so fun and makes me so happy to ride it. And I have a lot of fun memories of our last like couple trips just getting to ride it like multiple times with Duck and with my family, and it's a lot of fun.
Totally fair and valid.
Spaceship Earth.
Are you going to upset the Phoenicians?
Are you gonna upset me? Am I gonna take that ring back?
Oh no. Okay, that was not part of what we said was okay with this. This is all in fun and games. This is all fun and games.
It is all fun and games until the Phoenicians are involved, Jackie.
I might have to put it. Oh, but then what if I don't get? I'm gonna put it number 2. We're gonna put Spaceship Earth at number 2.
Okay. This is a marriage ending podcast. I do not want to be responsible for ending the relationship.
This information for the end of relationships. We are falling apart over here.
So we listen and we don't.
Except I have never been physically capable of listening and not judging in my life.
The Phoenicians a joke to you.
They absolutely are not.
Wow. It's serious over here. Okay.
The land.
Ooh. So you've got 3 and 5 open.
It's so tough. I
Because really, I think the only thing
That's worse.
that would be like lower than anything else at this point. Okay, maybe Test Track, but Mission Space would be like the only other.
I feel like the only thing with Test Track, not to throw your rankings out of whack here, but we had a particularly bad experience.
We did.
The
We had
one
a
time
bad
we tried to
experience.
ride Test Track, we got stuck in the first showroom. It was hot as anything in there. We were stuck there for like 25 minutes. It was like not a great
I was
experience.
screaming.
Yeah, it was like bad all around.
We were with the kiddos and we were all stuck, and the kids were not happy being stuck.
Yeah, so I don't know that that's like a fair assessment of Test Track overall.
Yes.
You know?
But you gotta
Put
think about what's
the
left.
land. Number 3.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so that means that 5 is open.
Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
No.
Not Ratatouille.
Is that a 5 for you, or would you prefer that to be higher, Jess?
I would have preferred him to be a little higher. Like, okay, so my hot take about Remy is that kind of like with Tron, like I wouldn't wait hours to ride it, but it's very cute and it's very fun, especially after you were drinking around the world. So, it makes it infinitely better.
And I think for a lot of people, myself included, Remy moved a little bit up when they opened the single rider line. That is a massive, massive difference in where that ride sits now for a lot of people, I think, because the ease of getting on it just went up for a lot of people, myself included, because my kids don't like Remy. They will not ride that ride.
Interesting.
They've ridden it twice. They do not like jump scares, and that's all that ride is. And they do not like the scene that you go under the oven and the fire kicks on above you.
Upsetting.
They're out. They're totally out. So they don't ride it anymore. So my husband and I were fully prepared we haven't been to EPCOT in the last couple trips that we've been on. So we were fully prepared, like, okay, we're not going to do Remy, and I'm not going to have my niece go on it because I think she'll have a similar reaction to what my kids do. But now that single rider is open, like we can just take turns running through single rider and we can both ride it, which is like awesome. So
Yeah, I think that's a very fair assessment with the accessibility going up.
Yeah.
It makes it a higher ranking for a lot of people. I think that's fair.
yes, agreed. Totally agreed. Okay, Duck, you're up.
Oh, we have to run through Jess's.
Oh, yes. Recap.
And I totally have dropped the ball on fun facts. So I'm just going to share my Remy fun fact because this is, not to brag, but one that I realized on my own independently before I Googled it to confirm it was what I thought it was. So outside of the ride, like as you're going to the queue on the left-hand side, there's like those little window dressings for shops. So there is like a little, what's supposed to be like Ego's wine shop. And there are 3 bottles that have different vintage years on them. One of them is 2007, which is when the movie came out. One of them is 2014, which is when the ride opened in Paris. And one of them is 2021, which is when the ride opened at Disney World.
Love that. Can I give another fun fact?
Absolutely.
As you are exiting the queue of Remy, as you look down at the floor tiles, they will change in size as you grow back to normal human size from being rat size. So they're very big floor tiles as you exit, and then the closer you get to the exit, they go and they shrink down to be smaller because you have regained your human size as you exit.
Which I love. And feels like one of those like old school Imagineering details.
Yes.
That, like, does not always get included, you know, in every attraction. So it's nice that in a more recent attraction, some of that's still alive and well. All right, let's back on track here. Let's review your rankings.
Number 5 was Forced to Be Remy's. Number 4, Journey into Imagination. Number 3, Living with the Land. Number 2, Spaceship Earth. Number 1, Cosmic Rewind.
Okay, now, sorry, I didn't mean to almost disallow your review, Jess, but now we're to Duck's turn for EPCOT. What ride do we have first?
Oh my god.
Journey into
Not bad.
Imagination.
Figment!
It's going to 4 because I cannot risk pulling Mission Space and having it be anywhere but 5. Spaceship Earth.
Oh.
No. I'm so conflicted because I have such a deep attachment to Spaceship Earth. Just from like childhood time, right? Like that is a very nostalgic ride for me.
Yeah.
I have to ride it every time we go. But I'm so afraid that I'm going to draw Guardians because I love Guardians. You know what? I can live with if Guardians ends up at number 2. I'm going to throw Spaceship Earth at number 1. All right, I'm grabbing like 3 of them in here. Ooh, one that we haven't gotten yet. Frozen Ever After.
Ooh. Where are you going to put that one, Duck?
3.
Okay.
Well, if I get Guardians.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I do have a fun fact for Frozen. There is, in one of the last scenes, there's the little puffins, the little puffling babies, and they are, I don't want to call them artifacts, but leftover carryovers from when it was Maelstrom.
You are not the first to pass this way, nor shall you be the last. Those feet, the steward. No, wait, I'm sorry. I love Maelstrom.
Go off. As the kids say, go off, queen.
It's not that I don't like Frozen. It's that it feels like there's so many dark spots in that ride,
Sure.
and there's not attention to detail. There's just black wall. And it's not like the boat is moving fast enough where you can't see that or you're not paying attention to it. And I just found that really disappointing considering all of the time they spent on the ride and the money that they spent on the ride, that we just swapped this super detailed, intricate ride for something that just felt like it was appealing to the masses without the level of detail that I think Frozen deserves, because there's so much beautiful art in the queue. And like, I hope that they do a refurb at some point and they put stuff on those walls. I have the same comment to a lesser degree for Little Mermaid. I love that ride, but it's just like, if I can look over and see a black wall, something's wrong. Any kind of plain wall, you could paint like background features on there and hide a hidden Mickey on it, and you'd never hear a peep of a complaint out of me. So that is my rant. I will step off of my soapbox.
No,
now.
this is,
Yeah.
I'm always happy to attend your TED Talk, Stevie, truly.
Well, and we have lots of people in the chat talking about the faces too of the characters, right? And I think we've seen what they can do at some of the overseas parks with those faces and the way that they do their newer animatronics. And I just like, it's one of those things where I wish they would have waited another 2 or 3 years to put a Frozen ride in, because then we would have gotten that.
Yeah.
And I think it would have made a huge difference along with what you said, Stevie. Okay, we got to keep this train moving, y'all.
God, we cannot make anything short. Okay.
Okay, so Duck, you have 2 and 5 still available.
And I'm so afraid because this is Grand Fiesta Tour, and Grand Fiesta Tour has to go at 2, and I'm Guardians at 5.
Dun dun dun.
All right, Plant Donald, don't fail me now. Give me Mission Space. No, I got Rat. I got Rat Patootie at number 5. Dang it.
Nobody pulled Swarine. And I'm sad because I love Soren.
So sorry.
I was like, that like
It took me a second.
took me a
I got that immediately.
I can't not. So I had a lot of coworkers coworker friends that were cross-trained at Soren or like came to different parts, and they all called it Swarine. And so now I can't break the habit either. And I had to like teach my husband that, because I was like, oh, let's go ride Swarine. And he was like, what?
Well, great. Now
Soren
I'm
is great.
also going to say it that way.
Excellent. As you should.
Yes. Yeah. Soren is great. It would have been fairly high on my list had I rolled it. It's one of my like pre-Cosmic and my new love for Plant Donald and Grand Fiesta. Like it was one easy, but like those 3 sit really high on my list. I have a hard time choosing between them.
Yeah, I think that's
I-
totally fair. Oh, sorry, Steve.
One of my favorite Soren stories, I had a friend that was that did VIP tours, and whenever he rode Soren and there was a kid in the party and he was sitting next to them, and this was with the Soren over California scene, and so in that show they have a golf ball that like flies at you when you're flying over the golf course, and it has like a little hidden Mickey, like a Mickey like drawn on it, and he would like hold up his hand and pretend like he caught the golf ball and then hand it to the kid he was on the ride with, and they were like they like couldn't process how he did
That's
that, and it
incredible.
just is the most clever thing. Like cast members do lots of great fun stuff all the time, but like the fact that he just carried around a golf ball with him if they happen to go on Soren is just it's
love
just
that.
so entertaining to me. I love that story.
I love that. And
Shout out
I agree. Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I agree with Vinny in our chat as saying Soren is great, but it's time to update. I would love an updated Soren. Can you imagine? Oh, I would love an updated Soren. So I totally agree on that. Okay. So let's recap. Duck, give us your 5 to 1 reluctantly.
Remy. Sad mouse noises. 4 is Journey into Imagination. 3 is Frozen Ever After. 2 is Grand Fiesta Tour. And 1 is Spaceship Earth.
Okay.
I think really the only thing to swap, and Moogie, please do not track me down for this. I think the only thing that I would have to swap is that Journey to Imagination goes 5, but I was so afraid of getting Mission Space and not having it be 5.
Valid. Where are we headed next? What park?
We are going to
Animal
Animal
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Ooh, okay. And I think that means Stevie's up
Hard hat.
first.
Yes. Oh yeah, to show off my hat. Carhartt.
Ah, excellent.
That's my
Bridging
thing.
out now. Love it. Okay. So Stevie's first. And this one
Okay.
has the least amount.
Yes. There's exactly
Now-
5.
I think there literally are.
Okay, I was gonna say, so we are not counting recently closed Triceratops spin
Correct.
Okay.
in our
Good
list.
for me to know. Are we not counting safaris?
Oh yeah.
So-
At the safari.
I did not have Safari on here because my original thinking was like it's a ride, but it's not a ride, right? Like there's
It's
If
a
one-
ride.
Staff my attractions cast
It's a
members, and that's
ride.
where it is.
okay, great. Safari's getting put on here.
So 6, and then
Okay.
that'll add some spice.
Add some flavor.
Okay. All right. You want me to draw first?
Okay.
Done. Navi River Journey.
See, I know where I would have put this had we had 5, and now that I know that we have 6, I'm gonna put Navi River Journey as 2.
Whose fault is it that we now? You did. Congratulations, you played yourself.
I thought the original 5 had safaris in it.
I can
It's
remove
fine.
dinosaur. That's fine with me.
Oh,
I mean,
too soon? Not yet.
I have
Alright.
strong opinions about dinosaur. We'll get to them if you pull it.
That's
Statistically,
totally fair.
somebody will probably pull it.
Yes. Do we have a fun fact about Navi River?
Wait.
The shaman animatronic cost about, the best estimate we have is that it cost $10 million from development to build.
Nuts. I
Yeah.
believe it's the most expensive.
Yes. I believe it was until, I guess it just depends on, I heard Kylo Ren was in his original planned state was costing them more. So there was supposed to be, from the rumors that I have heard, unsubstantiated rumors, that there was supposed to be some more with the Kylo animatronic on Rise of the Resistance, and it was really racking up the budget. So they had to call it. And so I don't know final cost what Kylo Ren wound up costing them, but he would give it a run for its money.
That is fascinating for an animatronic on both ends that don't function all the time.
Sorry.
Yep. $10
It
million
screams
to
a
cause
lot.
me to panic. Cool. Yep, that's
Yep.
got it.
Okay, so Navi River went 2. What's
Yes.
next?
Expedition Everest.
I think I know where you're gonna put this. Not to.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
I know I have a feeling I know exactly what you're thinking right now.
No tea, no shade, no judgment.
can I put dinosaur and Everest at 5? If that's what I'd like to do.
No, that is not in the rule book.
Okay, then I will put Everest at 5 for surezies because the Yeti doesn't work, and that's its punishment.
Wow, poor Disco Yeti.
Tell him how you really feel.
Poor guy. It's not his fault.
I'm not a big thrill ride person. I do love the view as you're coming up. I love that you can see EPCOT like as you're like going up the hill. But that's
That's where the
Yeah, I'm
improvement
not-
ends.
yes, pretty much.
Well, I pulled your safari. I hope you're happy.
Yay, thank you. Safaris is number 1. It's another ride that feels like it's a sister ride to Great Movie Ride. A lot of the cast member friends that I had either went to Jungle Cruise or Safaris at some point. But I also just really enjoy that ride and the way that like functions. Like the more that I learn about how cast members like have to problem solve on the go, and like the way that like you can get stuck and just have to like vamp for an hour if an animal lays down in the path and you can't go anywhere. Like it blows my mind. I think that it is so cool that Disney decided to do that, and just like the way that all of it is set up, it's just so very impressive to me.
Yeah.
And I
Those
will never
cast
tire
members.
of it.
Those cast members are next level with what they have to coordinate and multitask. It's pretty incredible that they're able to do it very safely and very efficiently and very effectively. Okay, so you've now taken 1, 2, and 5. We've
feel
got
good about
3 and
this.
4 left.
Yeah.
Oh, do you? Now that we threw safari in there, I'm so glad you feel better.
Next up is Kali River Rapids. So I don't know.
I'm gonna put that at 3. I think I've only been on it once because I feel like every time that I have been like, yeah, I could go on it, it's just like not been open. I've got nothing against it. It just like is. I don't know. I'm there for the vibes when I'm at Animal Kingdom, and you know, the vibes are not always let's get on this water ride, and then I would never want to wait for like more than an hour, because like on really hot days, that's when that wait time goes up, and I'm just like, I don't need to wait for that. So
Oh, this will go at 4.
Dinosaur.
oh, okay, good, great.
Well,
So
this is a very strong ranking list for you.
Yeah.
yes, so I don't care about dinosaur. I want to.
Wow.
And the reason why I put it above Everest is because I appreciate the animatronics and like the pre-show, because it just feels, I don't know, it feels more thorough. It feels, the theming is more inescapable, and I don't mean that in like a trapped with dinosaurs kind of way. Like I think that there's like a lot about it that's fun, but like it's not something that I enjoy rewriting all the time. Yeah, I'm an animatronic girly though, so that's why it's got to go above Everest for me.
Okay, we need a recap so we can keep going.
Yes.
Number 5 is Everest. Number 4 is Dinosaur. Number 3 is Kali River Rapids. Number 2 is Navi River Journey. And number 1 is Safaris. And I feel good about this because this list, had I gotten Flight of Passage instead, I would have put that at number 3 instead of Kali River Rapids. So like I'm feeling excellent about my odds in this.
Far
Love it.
less anger-inducing than Epcot. I'm thrilled to hear this.
Okay, Jess's turn
Yes.
first. What do we
Alright,
have?
First up, Dinosaur. Easy number 5. I don't care for Dinosaur.
Okay, there we go.
All children equally. I know
I don't care for
Job.
Next up, Kali River Rapids. It's gonna have to go number 4 for me.
Okay. Yeah, we're not.
Not big water ride people. Navi River Journey.
Ooh.
I think it's gonna have to go number 3.
Really?
It's
Okay.
a nice boat ride and it's very pretty to look at, but I feel like just like not much
Happens.
is happening. Is
I
my
can see
feelings.
that. Yeah, if it's not your jam, like if that whole like movie franchise is not your thing, totally
I've
get
also
that.
never seen any of the Avatar movies, so it's like
Ha, there it is.
don't have any attachment to it.
That's fair. Yeah, you're going nice up. So we've got 5, 4,
Right.
3.
Well,
We got 2 and 1 left.
to number 1 because I just pulled Everest, and that is easily one of my favorite rides. And it's my favorite ride at Animal Kingdom, just hands down. It's so much fun. I love everything about it, even though Disco Yeti doesn't work. It's fine.
Rip.
I still love it, and I feel like we go on it like 500 times in a row if we can. Like if there's no line, we'll just keep riding Expedition Everest. So
That's a great thing about Everest is that it has that rewritability because the loading is so fast and it's got single rider. So like either way, you're good to go.
yeah.
Yeah, that is a nice high capacity ride, I have to say. They move a lot of people through that very quickly.
Yes. Okay, so that leaves number 2.
Number 2 is going to be Flight of Passage, which is
This-
where I would have put it anyway.
Was a perfect
Stuck quickly worked out. Flight of Passage is a lot of fun. It's very pretty and like fun. I love the whole like the vibe that you're like going through. Like again, I know nothing about Avatar, but it's just a lot of fun. But I also it's not something that I would wait the like 300 hours in line for. So unless we get like a fast pass or can get on it like immediately or a lightning lane, it's not something that I will be riding. But
Fair enough.
it's fun. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah. Quick and easy. See, once we get through all the fun facts, and we have far less rides.
That's right. Once there's 6 rides in the park, it goes quick. A dinosaur, that's going number 5. No questions asked.
We didn't recap Jess's ride.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, recapping my rides. 5 was Dinosaur, 4 Cali River Rapids, 3 Navi River Journey, 2 Flight of Passage, 1 Expedition Everest.
Thank you. My OCD brain is happy now. Continue, Duck.
Okay, back to me. I can pretend to have drawn it out again. Oh, look, it's dinosaur. It goes at number 5. I got the paper for the safari. That's so tough.
Says the person who didn't even want to include it.
It didn't count as a ride.
Yes, it does.
I have been corrected, but when I was doing this originally, it did not. Oh no. Okay, alright, so Safari, I'm gonna put Safari at 2. Only gambling on statistically, I will probably pull Expedition Everest, and for the same reasons that Jess outlined, I love Everest, but I also love animals, and I will, as everybody in my family says, I will probably die trying to pet something I shouldn't. I will die doing what I love, trying to pet something that I shouldn't. So, it's fine.
I mean, that's a total vibe right there. Yep.
Oh, look at that. I pulled Expedition Everest. Who could have guessed?
Well, look at that. Isn't that convenient?
And number 1 it goes. Hooray. If not friend, why friend-shaped? Exactly, Ben. I say that 7 times a day as Jess pulls me away from the raccoon in the trash.
Y'all need lids for your trash cans.
It's not us. It's the way. It doesn't matter. We're not going to get into this on the podcast. It's not our fault. It's the communal trash dump. It's not us.
Okay. That's fair. Okay, continuing on.
All right, I got Navi River Journey next. I'm going to have to put it at 4 specifically because anytime we ride it, 9 times out of 10, the shaman is broken, and that is your bajillion-dollar attraction in there, right? Like, it's calming. Everyone loves a water ride. Like you said, Stevie, I also love a boat ride. I really enjoy it. But I just think that also suffers from there's not enough going on that isn't just screens or like a blacklight wall, you know what I mean? So I wish that there was more done with that, and I think maybe in the near future when there's a refurb they could do some updates there. But for now it's got to sit pretty at number 4.
Okay, so that leaves number 3 open, right?
Yep.
Huh.
The eyes have closed. What do we got?
Cali River Rapids. I can live with it at 3. So, okay.
That's
Recap.
higher. Yeah.
5 Dinosaur, 4 Navi River Journey, 3 Cali River Rapids, 2 Safari, 1 Expedition Everest.
Okay, is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Oh, okay.
I'm fishing about.
First attraction.
I'm nervous.
We have Cali River Rapids.
5.
Done.
Wow.
5. I do not like water rides. I do not enjoy getting wet on rides. I do not enjoy wet clothes. Nope.
0 out of 10. Do not recommend it.
I
There.
literally had to like hype myself up to go on Splash Mountain before it closed
Oh, so fair.
because I was like, nope, I'm gonna get wet. And then I like had to hype my kids up because I'm like, you're coming with me.
Ponchos, man.
And my son was so mad at me the rest of the day.
Oh,
buddy.
fun.
But he wants to go on Tiana's, so you know, it's fine.
Incredible.
He and I can go on Tiana's together because I will suffer a water ride
Yes.
for Tiana.
I
She's my favorite princess.
also need to go on Tiana, so like totally fine. We'll do it. But yeah, no, that's an easy 5 for me.
Ponchos. Anyway, Navi River Journey is your next one.
3.
Okay. A respectable place.
Fair.
Yes, I like that ride. I do like to go on it every time we're there, but it's not my favorite in the park. So it's just kind of in that mid-range.
Fair enough.
Mid multiple things away.
Just pull them off out.
Okay. Next, the safari.
Ooh.
Yeah, 1 shot 4 open. Stevie's like, make the right choice.
I know.
No, I just think I know what the answer is. Now I'm second guessing how well I know Jackie.
Well, I'm just concerned about what else might come, but it'll be fine. So I'm going to put it at 1.
Valid.
Okay.
I love
know
the
Jack.
safari. Yes, I love the safari. I go on it multiple times when I visit Animal Kingdom every time. And I love the animals. And I have a lot of the script memorized because it's such a good ride.
Love that.
Ride, duck. It's a ride. Okay,
I
I'm
will
done.
hang up on all y'all right now.
Okay, bye. No, I'm kidding. Please don't.
Talking about safaris.
Okay, so that means what? I did 1, 3, and 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up is dinosaur.
4.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
I like
Right.
dinosaur because my kids like dinosaur.
That's fair.
Okay.
And that is like heavily swaying my thoughts about dinosaur.
Yes.
So I just have 2 left, right?
One more.
1 left. You have number 2.
No, but I'm sorry. Yes,
physically spot
number
number
2.
two, yes.
Number 2 is left.
Yes.
What did I get?
Flight of Passage.
Oh, I'm good with that.
Great.
I'm so good with that.
Go.
That was my like debate between Safari and Flight of Passage for 1 and 2, and why I was like hesitant to immediately put Safari at 1 because I also really love Flight of Passage. Okay, so recap of my 5. Number 5, Kali River Rapids. Number 4, Dinosaur. 3, Navi River Journey. 2, Flight of Passage, and 1, Safari. And I'm very happy with that. I'm sad I didn't get Expedition Everest because I also love that ride. But I'm very pleased with my ride list for that park.
Excellent. Okay, now, last but not least, in my I Saw the TV Glow hat, the pink opaque, love it, my favorite hat right now. We have Hollywood Studios.
Ooh.
First up.
Okay. So, oh wait, so Jess is first, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
First up, I got Runaway Railway. God, that's hard. That's so okay. I think I have to put it at number 3,
Ooh, okay.
like right in the middle, because there's attractions that are obviously lower on my list. But then there are a couple things that would definitely be way higher. It's not like my favorite, but it is a lot of fun. I love the song. I end up singing it in my head all day long. And I think it's just so cute. Like the combination of like the pre-show into like, it's just so fun. But there are things that would take a higher place in my heart. So
Totally valid.
Tower of Terror is my next one.
Speaking of one that would take place
Got my ears.
higher in your heart.
I think I'm afraid that I'm gonna get Rise of the Resistance, and then I'm gonna regret
Everything.
ever. Yeah, I'm gonna regret my whole life if I
The
don't.
list is ruined.
But I might have to put Tower at 1.
Okay.
I mean, it's literally on your ears.
It is on my ears, and I
You-
love it so much. It's so fun. I love the Twilight Zone theming to it, and I love the just like terrifying feeling of just like the free falling. It's so fun, and I know Duck is terrified of free fall rides, so it's not one that I get to ride very often, but it's one that is very, very much one of my favorites.
I do have a good Easter egg for this one. Specifically, okay, so of course it's like littered with various references to Tower of Terror episodes, to Twilight Zone episodes. But this one is nearly impossible to see because you have to be in a certain spot in the queue to find it. So there is the little signboard in the lobby which has different, like level 1, elevator, whatever it is. Like it's just a signboard in the lobby. But if you physically look down into the bottom of the glass case of the signboard, there's letters at the bottom. They used to spell out something different, but they have since been updated to take the stairs.
I didn't know they changed it. I knew that it said take the stairs. I didn't know that it used to say something different.
So post 9/11, they changed it because it used to say Evil Tower. So there was something. It was something like Evil Tower. I forget exactly what it was, but they've changed it, and it's been changed for a very long time.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah. Post 9/11, it has since said take the stairs. All right. Sidebar over.
Next, I pulled Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna have to put it at 4
Okay. Respectable.
because I love the ride. It's a lot of fun. I love a good coaster, but I feel like Aerosmith has to go.
Good news. They are.
Muppets,
Right.
Muppets, Muppets,
I'm glad it's
Muppets,
going,
Muppets,
especially in light of
Muppets.
recent news regarding Aerosmith. It's time.
Yeah.
So gotta
Yeah.
go.
Okay, so you have now filled 1, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
2 and 5 are left.
Here we go.
All right. Alien Twirling Saucers. That's got to go number 5.
Okay.
I rode it on our most recent trip, and I think that might have been the first time I ever went on it. And it is rough when it like changes tracks and like, oh no, I'm too old.
I have accidentally squished my children on that
I
ride.
was afraid of squishing the children that I was on a ride with. I'm like,
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so that leaves number 2.
Number 2 is Smuggler's Run, which I am happy with. As just a huge Star Wars nerd, it's really cool to feel like you get to fly the Millennium Falcon. So I really enjoy Smuggler's Run. I know it's not really great for you, so we don't get to ride it all the time. And we had a bad experience getting trapped in line on it a couple trips ago.
Yuck.
And that was not good. Like, it just kept breaking down and we got stuck for like 2 hours in the queue. So that was not fun. But the ride itself is, I think, a good time. And I love like just like the detail of even just like when you're in the Falcon, like still in line for the ride, like just all the details that they have in it. It's very cool.
Hooray.
All right, recap.
Number 5, Alien Swirling Saucers. Number 4, Rock and Roller Coaster. Number 3, Runaway Railway. Number 2, Smuggler's Run. And number 1, Tower of Terror.
I think that's a very solid list.
Thank you. Yeah, that worked out.
That felt like it was less violent than some of the other
That worked out. I was so scared I was gonna
Less violent. Duck's turn. Hollywood Studios.
I pulled already Tower of Terror.
Ooh.
I'm going to throw it at 3 because it's not. You love it so much. You love it so much that like I like it. Same thing, Jackie. Like you were saying with your kids. Like Jess loves it so much.
Jess is your child. Yes, we hear you.
No. Oh yes, essentially. Essentially, yes.
Well, strike that and reverse it though. Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
I was gonna say they're the child in this situation.
There's no argument. That's 100% accurate.
Yes.
Yeah, but I also have like very fond memories of riding it when I was a kid with my dad. It was like one of my first big kid rides, you know what I mean? So like me and my sister went on it, and I just have this clear memory of after the ride, as you're like coming, they're like the elevator doors are opening up. My sister just like reached over and grabbed my dad and was like, "Dad, that lady's hair in front of us stood straight up." Right? So like I just have such a clear memory of how funny that was. So like I don't know, like I don't while Tower is not my favorite ride system, I have a lot of fond memories, and also Jess really likes it. So I think putting it at 3 is a very fair ranking for me. We have Midway Mania.
Midway Mania.
This is gonna make a lot of people upset. I'm putting it at 4. I enjoy it. It's, as I said before, I love a shooting gallery game, but there's so many other things in the park that we don't always get to that like I feel like Midway just kind of gets cut, right? Like we've done it a couple of times and it's a lot of fun, and like I said earlier, I love those shooting gallery games, but just like compared to what else is available in the park, it sits at a number 4, you know? Not the worst, not my favorite. Let's see. We've got Smuggler's Run. I'm going to make a lot of people upset. I can't ride Smuggler's Run. I have motion sickness, so it's going at 5. I love it for what it is.
Ride.
In story-wise, it's a lot of fun. You push buttons, you get to fly. But if you have somebody at pilot that does not like you or is a literal child, it goes
miserable.
no thank you. It's 5. I'm good. love the concept of it. Do not like actually riding
I
it.
can't wait for Star Tours staff to be your number one.
If Star
Okay, so Duck has done 3, 4, and 5. 1 and 2 are left.
Okay, now you've scared me. So Runaway Railway has to be number 1. Because I can't chance getting Star Tours.
Nothing can stop us now.
The only thing that can stop me is motion sickness.
All right, what's your number 2?
Swear to God. Alien Swirling Saucers, which, again, I can't ride it. So it's getting stuck at number 2 because that's the default. But
Yep.
not for me. All right. So to recap, at 5 I have Smugglers, 4 I have Midway Mania, 3 I have Tower, 2 Swirling Saucers, and 1 is Runaway Railway. I would probably drop Swirling Saucers, like swap Midway and Swirling Saucers if I had known, but here we are.
Duck, what rides can you do? I feel like that will be shorter. At studios, it is a much shorter list.
Yeah, I can do coasters just fine. I don't know what it is. Like, coasters, no matter what they do, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay on Guardians. I'm okay on any coaster that we do. It's just the strict motion rides, like that go in a circle, or motion simulators like Star Tours.
Yeah, and like things with 3D glasses sometimes bother you too.
Goodness. Okay, is it my turn?
It is Jackie's turn.
Oh, guys, I'm so nervous about this park. I said that about the last 3 parks, I feel like.
I feel like you've just been nervous for like 2 hours now.
I feel like the thing with studios is there are like so many like top tier attractions, but then there are also so many like it's like the best ride in the world or it's just fine.
I think I have a lot of unpopular opinions about rides in this park.
Ooh, okay.
Hot take.
So-
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's hear your hot takes on Star Tours, Jackie.
Oh, it is the only ride on Disney property that ever made me feel motion sick.
Wow.
Wow.
5.
Yep, that's couldn't have said it better myself.
And I don't get motion sickness. I just don't. But there was one ride, and I don't know what combination of what did it. But Stevie, you were with me on that trip, and it took me out for a while afterwards. I was like, I do not feel great. This is like, I wasn't like all the way there to the point where I was going to get sick, but it was the only time I ever felt sick on any attraction I've ever been on.
Yeah, it's I've never ridden it specifically because everybody says it is so disorienting that if you're even like the slightest, like if you have ever thought about getting motion sick in your life, you'll get motion sick on this.
Now,
one.
I'm nervous to let my kids go on it.
That's fair.
So
It's one of those rides that you have to plan your day around, in my opinion. Like going in with a solid stomach where you feel okay, where you're not going to go, where you can kind of relax your way off of it. I never plan on doing it more than once in a trip, if I'm being honest. But I do love the theming. So it makes me sad that it makes everybody motion sick, but I get it because it makes me motion sick too.
right. Okay. So yeah, easy 5 for me.
All right. Next up, Rise of the Resistance.
Ooh,
Oh.
I can feel a hot take coming on.
Okay, when this ride functions at full capacity, which it never does because the cannons haven't worked in years, it would be higher on my list. But there are so many things that are frequently wrong with this that I just opt to not ride it because I don't want to pay to ride it and I don't have any desire to wait in a long line to ride it. So 3.
Okay.
Okay.
I think given your
I can
reasoning,
handle that.
yeah, I think that's fair. I'm with you where this is so, and this goes to the fun facts where this has 65 individual animatronics and something about 5 million lines of code. It is a technological marvel. And in fact, it's kind of surprising it doesn't go down more as much as it goes down, right? Like there's so much that gets done within this ride and so many moving pieces and there's a lot. So I'm with you where I wish that there was some Disney magic wand that they could wave to make it 90% functional most of the time. But statistically, I mean, every time we've ridden it, something has been wrong, right?
Exactly.
We got Kylo bent over at the waist. We had, we've had things. We had the, right, Something's
This
wrong.
is a family show.
Listen, whatever Adam Driver's doing up there is not my business, all right? We've had the lightsaber stuck through the ceiling, right? Like, something is always wrong with that ride. And, like, I'm sure we've all seen the videos online of the Kylo Ren animatronic violently spinning in a circle, right? Like,
I don't think
statistically.
he was even there the last time we rode it.
Yes.
Like they just fully
Just the
took him out.
screens. Yep.
Yeah.
And you get full B mode with the screens. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so sad to say that there's things that haven't worked in years when the ride is only like, what, like 6 years old? At
I
this
think it
point?
opened
Like,
right at the beginning of 2020.
yeah. So it's like a 5-year-old ride, but things haven't worked in years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Like
should
the
be-
room with
Everybody
the big
gives Everest a pass for the same thing.
Everest is old.
Well, here's my question. Other than Disco Yeti, what, like, stopped working almost immediately? Because the Eagle and the Smoke worked for a very long time and still occasionally works, right? Like, that held up. I get it. Disco Yeti is tearing down the mountain one swipe at a time. I totally get it. We shouldn't
Right.
give that. That's not right. They totally did the
Well-
wrong thing and put him on a load-bearing beam for some reason.
And I think that if I liked the Star Wars IP more than I do, like, it's fine. It's not my favorite. And I think if I liked Star Wars IP more, it would go higher. But because it's just like, I'm cool with like not doing it, then, that's just why it is where it is. If I had the full list and I knew I was going to get all of the attractions, it would probably honestly be lower on my list than 3.
Ooh,
Wow.
fair
So-
enough.
Okay, so I've done 3 and 5. What's my next ride?
Midway.
Midway.
Ooh. I'm having a really hard time with this one.
I am not your mother. Break those plates.
I'm gonna go with 4.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. We'll put it at 4 because I'm very indecisive and I just had to make a decision, so I'm not here all night.
I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm scared.
Remember when we thought that this was going to be like a quick hour trip?
Oh my God, we've
I
been here
never
for
thought that.
so long. You wanted to do 10 rides per park, Doug.
I did not. I have no concept of how long I can talk.
I have a lot of concept on how long you can talk. Okay, so I have 2 and 1 left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Sassmouth, you get Runaway Railway.
Oh, 1.
Done.
1. Tubi. 1. Done. Sold.
Nothing can stop Chubby now.
No. And as much as I loved Great Movie Ride, Runaway Railway has my heart.
That's so fair.
Yeah, it's just I love that Mickey has an attraction finally. I love the storyline is so cute. I love that it is one of my kids' favorite rides and that we love to go on it together. Like I just love it so much.
Yes, all of that very fair.
Mm-hmm. Very valid.
Okay, so what's that leave for number
So
2?
Number 2,
Tower of Terror.
Ugh,
Ripper
Okay.
Pizza.
I don't love that.
Don't like Tower?
Again, it's one of those Tower and Rock and Roller Coaster both. I went probably 5 or 6 trips without going on.
Fair.
They're like a one and done for me. I don't need to go on them all the time, personally. I don't remember the last time I went on Rock and Roller Coaster.
Wow.
I
Well, it
think
will be soon with the retheme.
oh yeah, oh for sure. But I think the last time I went on it was Stevie, the trip that we moved you down right after Andrew and I got married. So that would have
There's a good
been
chance that's the last time I was on it as
I
well.
don't
And
think
I've
you rode
ridden
it with
there
us.
down there.
I don't think you rode it with us because I found the ride photo the other day and you were not on it. So I
And
don't
it's
think
been
you
even
rode it with
longer
us.
since I've been on that ride.
So that would have been early July of 2014
Yeah.
Wow.
was the last time that I rode it. And I've been to Disney several times since then, believe me. And it's Rock and Roller Coaster is not rideable for me. I'm not a huge Aerosmith person. And like Tower of Terror,
Nah.
yeah, it's a great themed attraction. Don't get me wrong. I think it's immersive. It's great. It's awesome. It's just not my thing.
So fair.
It's just not my thing. So that's why I said I was going to struggle with Hollywood Studios because Rock and Roller Coaster is not my thing. Tower of Terror is not my thing. I don't love Star Wars. I've never been on Smuggler's Run. So if I had gotten that one, it would have had to go to the bottom of my list because I've never ridden Smuggler's Run. So for me, it's literally Toy Story, all the Toy Story stuff and Runaway Railway. Like that's what I go to Hollywood Studios for, and then the shows.
Yeah, I
Fair,
think
they have good shows.
I think that's also what made it hard when I was looking at this and Animal Kingdom. It like when I decided it was just going to be rides. Like there's so much else that those parks have to offer,
Yes.
but they are not rides necessarily. So
So valid and fair. So, okay. So my recap of my 5 for Hollywood Studios. Number 5, Star Tours. Number 4, Midway Mania. Number 3, Rise. Number 2, Tower of Terror. And number 1, Runaway Railway.
good stuff.
All right.
I'm just happy that I got Runaway Railway as number 1 because that's my favorite.
Love that for you.
Last but not least, Stevie.
All right, Stevie.
I'm so interested to hear this list.
Buckle up, kids. I don't have to rant about.
We only got 5 of the 9, so we'll see which ones you get. I'm very
Yeah, that's really gonna determine it.
Midway Mania.
Okay. So here's the thing. I know what my ranking is. Like I could rank all of these like off the top of my head. And so like Midway Mania is like on the top half of rides, like rides that I enjoy in this park. And so I don't know whether or not I want to risk it knowing that I may not get like all of the rides. So I'm going to put Midway Mania as 2.
Respectable reasoning. I like it.
Because I do love that ride.
All right.
I love the theming and being on Andy's size and the music.
I really have such a soft spot for the design of all of Toy Story Land. They did such a good job with that. Again, that's something that feels like old Disney, right? Like the details and the thought that went into it. I really appreciate it so much. So I have a very soft spot for just hanging out in Toy Story Land when it is not 80,000 degrees.
Yeah, there's no
Yes.
shade, which is terrible.
All the shade is my opinions.
She says and deadpans the camera.
Incredible.
All right, with that, Rock and Roller Coaster.
5. I like the ride for what it is. When I was younger and I could tolerate more roller coasters, I was a bigger fan. But like it just ranks the lowest in terms of theming for me too, because like obviously Tower of Terror is in there too, and Slinky Dog Dash, like I don't know, like it's not as high. I will say that like Muppets will probably change that and flip it on its head, and I will probably plan my trip around trying to ride that. But until then, I'm kind of just like, yeah. So I just like don't go down Sunset Boulevard at all unless I'm going to Fantasmic. So
Star Tours.
okay, I think I'm gonna put Star Tours at 3.
Okay.
That feels right. I love that there are different options and different storylines that you can get.
Yes.
That is one of the things that will make me still go on it. Like if we do try, like that's just part of the appeal for me. I love the theming in the queue. I love that like there's a droid like scanning like x-ray things. There's little Easter eggs in what the droid is scanning. I love that Allison Janney is the voice of the droid that welcomes you onto the ride. I love the 3PO animatronic. Like I just think that it is so versatile, and I love the way that it just like functions like in terms of theming, in terms of it being like something that takes you to different worlds, and the way that allows them to adapt the story. And I, even when I'm not riding it, I still like have a lot of affection for that ride. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like excited about it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm gonna-
Okay. So Stevie has now filled 2, 3, and 5.
Yes.
And next up is Tower of Terror. I
4.
feel like this is rigged.
4?
There are just some that are not getting pulled.
I know.
Take it up with my hat. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, Stevie. You said 4 for Tower?
Yes.
Okay.
I have not been on this ride that often. The first time that I was on it was on a high school band trip, and a friend of mine like dragged me on the ride, and I didn't know what to expect. And I don't know that she had a great recollection of what happens on the ride or the way that cast members behave either. And so we are in pre-show watching the little, like, I don't know, it's maybe like a 4 to 5 minute film that kind of sets you up for the story that you're going into. And we're towards the back of the room in this group of people watching pre-show, and we're kind of close to the door, and the cast member had ushered us in and was standing by the door, maybe like, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet away from me. And I start to notice as I'm watching the pre-show that he's watching me. And I'm unnerved because I've never been on this ride before. I'm very anxious about it because I don't know how I feel at this point in time about how I like being on more intense rides. He's staring at me. And so I try to get my friend's attention. I'm like, Laura, he's staring at me. And she's like, watch the video. And I'm just like, okay, fine. So I continue to watch the video. Another 10, 15 seconds go by. I look back again. He's still watching me. And I'm just like, Laura, look. And she looks, she's like, oh my gosh, that's weird. And so we're like clutching each other. And we go back to watching the pre-show. And at this point, other people in the room are just like, why are they making noise? Like so annoyed at the teenagers, at the 15-year-olds, just like being in pre-show waiting for this. Yes. And are just like, where are these kids' parents? Meanwhile, her dad is in the room with us. That's besides the point. We continue watching. And at the very end of the pre-show, when the video ends, all of the lights go out in that room. And right before this happened, I'd looked and that cast member was still over by the door and had begun to act like nothing was happening. I think that he noticed that everybody in the room was just like, what's going on over there? So the lights go out. And right when the lights come on, the cast member has appeared behind me and in my ear goes, your room is ready. And I freak out. I scream. I like almost collapse to the floor. And he got me so good that the rest of the room is laughing to the point where, and I don't think I've ever seen a Tower of Terror cast member break. I saw him because he was laughing because of how good he got me. Oh man. So I have a lot of like positive memories from Tower of Terror because that was fun. Like it just like is an entertaining story to tell. And everybody like had a good laugh. And I was glad that the rest of the people in that room knew that we weren't just like being little like troublemakers in the back of pre-show. But the ride is not fulfilling enough for me. I don't have enough attachment to the IP to try to do that. And I say that because I love Guardians, but I'm not a fan of the Guardians version in California either.
Oh, that's your breakout?
Yes. I love the pre-show, but I wish there was more Guardians theming when you were like actually on the ride. And so it's not enough to like get me to go on it and risk the motion sickness.
That is very fair.
Okay.
Had that happened to me, I would not have gotten on the ride. I would have said, please walk me out because I am done here. We are done here.
I'm going to check out. Thank you.
Yes. I'm not even going to my room. My time here is done.
Fair.
Okay, so does that leave only number 1 for you?
Which is quite the risk.
A Smuggler's Run.
Oh, hallelujah. Smugglers.
Oh, you got lucky.
Yes. So, okay, I feel like I need to address the elephant in the room, which is Runaway Railway. And I want to establish that I never would have put Runaway Railway at 5. I enjoy the ride, but I enjoy it specifically in Disneyland. And not because of the location thing, but because in Disneyland, that ride is in Toontown. And the theming of it makes sense with the story. And it makes sense with that area of the park, and it's cohesive. And until Hollywood Studios figures out what it wants to do with the theming in that park, I will continue to be frustrated. I also, generally speaking, am annoyed that a thoroughly animatronic ride was replaced for something that is just a lot of screens.
I love how
and I think
your non-ranking of something that you didn't even pull. You were passionately defending what you would have theoretically ranked the ride that did not get pulled. I love it. And don't get me wrong. No hate here. I'm truly thrilled that you feel so passionately about this. But I just
I have to explain why I was relieved and why Jackie is just like, oh, you dodged it. You missed that one.
Yeah.
And that's why. And so it's not that I like that Mickey has a ride. I think it's great. I just think Mickey deserves better.
I hear you. And I counter argue the fact that the Chinese theater, as it exists, is a movie theater. When you enter the movie theater, you go through a queue that has movie posters, and you go into the movie.
But
I understand theming wise what you're saying outside of it, but I think as an
and
entity,
that's what I'm referring to.
as an entity, it totally makes sense to me. And I understand that a lot of people have beef now that the Disneyland version has opened, because the Disneyland queue is phenomenal. But I also don't think the Disneyland queue would work in Hollywood Studios where it is. So like for me, it totally makes sense that they exist completely differently in completely different parts of the park, because obviously we don't have Toontown in that park, right? So I get defensive of, because I love that ride, but I get defensive when people are like, not you in particular, but just in general,
Yeah.
people are like, I don't think it makes sense there. What doesn't make sense about the fact that you're going into a movie in a movie theater that is a historical landmark movie theater in LA? Make it make sense.
Well, and that's not the part of it that I have a problem with, because
Right.
in
I know
Town, they're going into a movie theater.
Right.
It's the problem that like everything that surrounds that, they've taken away all of the other rides that put
Right.
you in the movies in that way.
Yes.
And therefore make it make sense. And that's what's frustrating to me, because
Yes.
like
It's on an island. It's on an island in the middle of the park for no reason.
Yes. And it's disconnected, and it could theoretically like make it more fluid. It could draw in other areas of the park, and it doesn't. And so that is frustrating to me and makes me sad. And part of that is because when I was working at the park, there was talk of them changing the name of the park and retheming the way that worked. And if that happened, like, I don't have this argument anymore if they kind of change the way that that's supposed to function. And so that's kind of where I get hung up, because like there's so much that doesn't. I love this idea of like being in the movie, learning about the movies, like all of the behind the scenes of the movies. I really hope that they never get rid of the Indiana Jones stunt show, because it does that so well. It explains movie making to you. And to be honest, I don't really have an issue with Galaxy's Edge or Pixar being in there, because it does enough theming to make you feel like you are a character in the movie. Like you are down at Andy's size. You are like living and in like talking to other characters in the Star Wars universe. And so the fact that like there's not something that blends where the Chinese theater is with where Launch Bay and Mermaid is, like it just feels so disjointed. And that's what's frustrating to me, because like my favorite ride experiences are the ones where like that theming is cohesive to when you're exiting the park as well. Like you still feel like you're in the middle of this world. And I don't feel like that. And I think it's also because like the queue at Movie Ride had like props and things in it, and they could still do that for Runaway Railway, and so I don't understand why they're not. And so that's my other bone to pick, because it's just like you could do more. And that's, I think, my consistent like complaint about all kinds of rides is that just like you could do more. And because you've raised my expectations previously, I continue to expect this of you now. And so I like it. I just want more. I want better. And it's their own fault for raising my expectations so high.
So fair.
Anyways, I ranked Smuggler's Run as #1 because I love being in the seat of the Millennium Falcon, and I love how immersive that is. And it helps that my very first time on that ride, I got to be the pilot, and I cried a little. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. When we went to Lightspeed, oh my gosh, I like could not. I like this insane giggle left my body because I had very intentionally not done any like walkthroughs, like watching any videos of Rise or Smuggler's Run, because I just wanted to experience it organically. And I was a big Star Wars fan then, but not nearly as big as I am now. Like I'm so much more knowledgeable about the universe. I didn't know who Hondo was the first time that I rode Smuggler's Run. So I was just like excited about the Falcon and Chewie. And I just love the attention to detail in that ride. Like, and you get off the ride and you're still walking through the hall of like the Falcon. Like it's just from beginning to end, like every little detail is excellent, and it is why I love Disney. So
yes,
Totally fair.
I love that.
Okay, let's do a quick recap of Stevie's top 5.
My top 5 are Rock and Roller Coaster, #5, #4, Tower of Terror, #3, Star Tours, number 2, Midway Mania, and number 1, Smuggler's Run.
Excellent. Okay.
We
Did we make it to the end of our marathon?
I
did.
Wow, this is
This
I
took
love you all.
significantly
Bye.
longer than we thought it would, but that's totally fine. Okay.
did it.
Are we ready to wrap it up?
I think
So,
we must
we
be.
have to.
Okay, perfect. Well, this has been such a fun, entertaining, chaotic, ridiculous, wonderful idea for an episode. So thank you, Duck and Jess, for bringing this idea to us. Thank you, Stevie, for joining us on your week off of Mom Street. You had to get in on the fun for this one.
This was really quite enjoyable. I'm glad that you joined us, Stevie.
Yes, good things, all good things. So if you are someone who has additional questions or thoughts about our rankings, maybe, make it kind, but you are always welcome to reach out to us, momstreetusa@gmail.com, or you can find us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram at momstreetusa. If you want a recap of anything that we had ranked during this episode, our wonderful friend of our podcast, KDO, has put them in our Discord channel. So you can find us at our good friend Kirk at Walrus Carp, his Discord. The link to that is in our bio over here at the Mom Street channel. You can find our channel or our channel over there. That all of our rankings are on there. So feel free to discuss kindly with us because we had no control over what rides were pulled. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. So thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of Mom Street USA, and we will catch you on the next episode.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.